Good morning, fourth graders. Today we're on page 131 of your student journal, page 131. And our objective today is, today I will subtract mixed numbers using a model. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, just like we did in the last few lessons, while we're using a model, you're going to want something to shade with. You're going to notice I'm not going to be using my red and green crayons. You could use a light colored crayon, a light colored pencil, a highlighter, but you're going to want something to do some shading with. Okay, so let's look at our vocabulary. At first, they're just reminding us what an improper fraction and a mixed number are. And then they're showing us what equivalent fractions are. So it's different fractions that represent the same value. So this fraction, the whole has been partitioned into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, and you have 1, 2 of the parts. This fraction or whole has been partitioned into 2 parts, and you have 1 of the parts. So even though here you have more parts, they're worth the same value, so they're equal. Okay, they're also reminding us of some of our subtraction words. What we start with, or what we have, is called our minuend. That's our starting number. And what we subtract is called our subtrahend. And then our difference is our answer. Okay, so let's look at our steps. So ladies and gentlemen, just like I did in our last few lessons where we were adding mixed numbers, if you remember, I didn't use the number line strategy. I used only the area model strategy. We're going to do the same thing for this. So when we subtract, we're only going to use area models, not number lines. So we're just going to kind of ignore the lines that are provided. Okay, also, I'm going to not follow their steps. I'm going to kind of change things up a bit. So their first step says draw and label the model for the minuend. The minuend is my starting number. It's what I have. I am going to follow that step, but I am not going to do these steps. So let's cross those off. So we're going to draw and label the model for the minuend. Then I'm going to kind of change things up. But something that I want you to know when you subtract, you always, this is really important to know, you always subtract the fraction first. So we don't subtract our whole numbers. We always subtract the fraction. I should have made that plural. Sorry, friends. Always subtract the fractions first. So if I look at my example, I would have not said 3 minus 1. I would have said 2/3 minus or take away 1/3. I always look at the fractions first. That's going to be really important. Okay. So those are really the only steps I'm going to have you write down, but I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to get started on my first problem. And it says 3 2/3 take away 1 1/3. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw and label the model for the minuend. So I have 3 holes, 1, 2, 3 holes. Shade those in quickly. Okay, and I also have 2/3. So 2/3 means it's been partitioned into 3 parts, and I have 2 of them. Okay, so that was step 1. Draw and label the minuend, or what I have. Okay, what do they want me to take away? They want me to take away 1 1/3, but I'm going to always subtract the fraction first. So they want me to take away 1/3. Okay, I'm going to take it away. I can't really erase it, so I'm just going to cross it off. They also want me to take away 1 whole. Okay, I just took it away. So that's what all I had to do was I just had to subtract and take away what they wanted me to. So what do I have left? Well, I still have 1 2 holes left. And I still have 1/3 left. And that is my answer. So ladies and gentlemen, I think this strategy is a lot easier than all the steps that they give us. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. Now this one, you're going to notice there's a little problem that I'm going to encounter. Okay, so step one, I'm going to draw my minuend, or what I have. So I have 5 holes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Shade those in quickly. Okay, and then I also have, it says 2/4. So my minuend is what do you have? So 2/4 means it needs to be partitioned into fourths. Is that partitioned? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And I have 2 of them. Okay, so now I've drawn what I have, and they want me to subtract 2 3/4. Okay, so when I subtract, I always subtract my fraction first. So they want me to take away 3/4. So 1/4, 2/4. Oh, do you see my problem, ladies and gentlemen? I have to take away 3, but I only have 2. So all I do is I come over here and I partition a hole. And then I can take away another part. So I took away 1, 2, 3 parts like they asked me, 3/4. And then I can take away 2 holes. So 1, 2. So what am I left with? I'm left with 1, 2 holes and 1, 2, 3/4. And that is my answer. Okay, let's try some of these together. Make sure you have something to shade with. We are on page 132. Okay, I realize it says to solve using a number line, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different. Okay. So our first step is we're going to draw our minuend, draw what we have. So we have 3 holes, 1, 2, 3 holes. Shade those in. Okay, and we also have 1/4. So 1/4, the 4 denominator means we're going to partition it into 4 pieces. And the 1 numerator means you have one of the 4 pieces. Okay, so now we're ready to subtract. Remember when we subtract the fraction first. So they want us to take away 3/4. Well, I only have 1/4 to take away, which means I'm going to come partition another hole. Okay, so if we took away 1, 2, 3. Now we took away 3/4. Okay, they also want us to take away 2 holes. So 1, 2. So what are we left with? We're just left with 2/4. We didn't have any holes that we were left with, so just 2/4. Okay, let's look at our next one. It says 4 7/8, take away 1 4/8. Okay, ready? So we're going to draw what we have, or our minuend. So we have 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. We also have 7/8. Okay, so the 8 denominator tells us to partition it into 8 pieces. And the 7 numerator tells me I have 7 of them. Okay, so there's my minuend. That's what I have. Now they want us to subtract or take away 1 whole and 4/8. So we're going to start with the 4/8. So let's take away 1, 2, 3, 4/8. And I had enough. I don't have to cut up or partition any holes. They also want us to take away 1 whole. So what do we have left? We still have 1, 2, 3 holes. And how many parts do we have? 1, 2, 3/8. So our difference is 3 3/8. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, keep practicing these and have a great day. Bye.